I will never forget the day Rachel found out who Emeka really was. Her tears burned like acid and her voice cracked as she asked, "Why didn't anyone tell me? I wish I had. Maybe it could have saved her." Rachel wasn't just any woman. She was one of Lagos' most respected event planners, known for creating unforgettable moments. Beyond her career, Rachel was deeply admired for her charitable work. She ran a foundation focused on supporting widows and providing healthcare and education to underprivileged children. Her kindness and drive made her a role model, and her reputation was her most valuable asset. When she met Emeka at an upscale wedding she had planned, it felt like a new chapter in her already flourishing life. Her friend Ada introduced them, and Emeka's smooth charm was impossible to ignore. "You've made this place look like heaven on earth," he had said, flashing his winning smile. Emeka pursued her relentlessly, attending her charity events, donating large sums, and promising her a life filled with love and support. After 2 years of courtship, they married in a ceremony that became the talk of Lagos. But behind Emeka's generous facade was a man with a dark secret. Unknown to Rachel, his so-called import-export business was a cover for importing counterfeit drugs. These fake medicines were cheap, dangerous, and deadly, killing innocent people across the country. Rachel was blissfully unaware of this side of her husband, but cracks in his story began to show after their marriage. His frequent trips abroad, vague answers about his deeds, and the way he insisted on pushing his name into her charity's activities all felt odd, but she never imagined the scale of his deceit. The turning point came when an entire family, parents and 2 children, died after taking one of the fake drugs distributed by Emeka's network. The tragedy sparked outrage across the country, and authorities launched an investigation. The police eventually raided Emeka's warehouses, uncovering a stockpile of counterfeit medications and tracking the network directly to him. The news sent shockwaves through Lagos, and Rachel's name was dragged into the scandal because of her connection to him. Rachel was devastated. Not only was her reputation as a respected charity worker at risk, but she also realized that Emeka had been using her foundation to cover his tracks. His donations and involvement had shielded him from suspicion for years. "It was all a lie," she whispered, breaking down in front of me one evening. "I wish I was just a tool for him to look good." Confronting Emeka was even more painful. He didn't deny his action, but instead tried to manipulate her. "Rachel, you are my wife. Stand by me and we can come out of this stronger," he said, as if her love could erase the lives he had destroyed. She refused. When she overheard him laughing on the phone about how easy it had been to use her reputation, it shattered her whatever hope she had left. The fallout was brutal. Rachel's clans cancelled events, sponsors pulled out of her charity, and her name was dragged through the mud. People whispered that she must have known, that she had to be complicit. She tried to explain, but the damage was done. With her world in ruins, Rachel made the hardest decision of her life: to leave Lagos. She dissolved her charity and moved to Port Harcourt to start over. The woman who had once been the pride of her community now lived quietly, away from the society that had celebrated and condemned her. As for Emeka, he fled the country before the police could arrest him. Rumors of his whereabouts spread, but no one knew for sure where he had gone. He left behind broken lives, a grieving family, and a shattered woman who had once loved him.